What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to provide you with an ABX guide for Mephisto. Before we get into that, I got pretty lucky last night. I was re-rolling my cards on the live stream, and I actually craft combined this card, and I ended up getting all blue stats on this card. Originally, I had 5 blue stats on it, and all I needed was to re-roll 1 star, and I ended up doing that, and I got all 6. So that gave me a total of 5% Pierce on this card, and originally I had 8% Pierce. Now I actually have 11% Pierce. Now keep in mind, against ABX, Pierce doesn't enable you to do more damage against the beast. It's really just a matter of how much energy attack and physical attack that you have, depending on the character that you're using, against ABX, and of course the stats that are on your characters. So in Mephisto's case, he is an energy-based character. I have 105% energy attack, almost 105% energy attack, plus I have this 20% increase of energy attack proc on the right. So there's going to be times in the fight where I'm going to have 125% energy attack, which is a lot. But Moonstone here is actually an energy-based character too. And even though my Moonstone has a much better build than my Mephisto, she has mythic energy attack Urus, she has 6 Odin's blessings, she actually does less damage than my Mephisto. Now keep in mind, whenever you're running with a proc, Moonstone's actually much easier to play, and actually I think better with a damage proc. Now when I was testing my Mephisto with a fire damage obelisk, just a regular fire damage obelisk with a 200% damage proc, I was nowhere close to what Moonstone could do. She was just a lot easier to play with a proc. However, when you decide to put a rage or a judgment on Mephisto, he will absolutely shine. His damage will skyrocket. He is destroying my Moonstone, even though his build isn't as good. So let's talk about the team. So I'm going to be running with Cyclops here because he's going to give that 35% increase of all attack leadership, and he also gives the 30% increase energy attack from his passive, so an extra 65% increase to energy attack. On top of that, I do have a CTP of Insight on Cyclops, and this isn't even an optimal rolled obelisk, but I am getting an extra 15% damage to supervillains whenever this procs. And Cyclops is actually a very good character to put a CTP of Insight on, because you can actually use him, as a great support for World Boss, Danger Room, Squad Battle. He really is an insane support. That's really where his value lies. And then I'm running Ulysses here for the extra 30% increase to critical damage. If my cards had more critical damage on them, or if I decided to put more Urus on my Mephisto and try to get extra critical damage from those, but the thing is, I want to put more Odin's blessings on him. So that's why I didn't fill these empty amplified slots with any kind of Urus. I really am thinking about taking the Odin's blessings off of Moonstone and putting him on Mephisto. However, I don't know if I really want to do that because Moonstone's one of my damage dealing monsters in World Boss, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna have to weigh out my options as far as that's concerned. But as far as the build, Mephisto has 62,000 energy attack, almost 63,000, which is crazy. He has all of his stats are maxed out except for his attack speed. Now his attack speed is going to get maxed out from his 4th skill because he actually gets an attack speed buff from his 4th skill. And I do have mythic energy attack Urus and just 1 Odin's blessing on this guy, then some dodge Urus. Now when you're playing with Mephisto in your rotation, you want to make sure that you use the Dark Awakened form, and you want to use this thing because you really want this extra 50% increase of all attack. And of course you get that 10% all speed, so you only need 120% all speed. And then you get the crit rate buff by 10% for 10 seconds. And you can pretty much keep that up throughout the entire fight. And then of course his 5th skill gives him the damage accumulation, which is nice. So if you run through the rotation, it's actually a pretty simple rotation once you get the hang of it. And this is what I've been doing so far. So the thing about Mephisto is you can cancel a lot of his skills pretty early. The 2, the 5, and the 4. The 2 and the 5 you can definitely cancel early, and the tier 3. So what I like to do is you hit the Dark Awakened skill first, and then what I do is I hit the 2nd skill, and as soon as the flames show up, I go into the 5 and then cancel into the 4. And then he shoots out a ray from the 4, and then I go into the 1. And what you're trying to do is whenever the proc engages, you want the proc to come right when the flames show up from the 2nd skill, then go into your 5, cancel into the 4, shoot out your flame ball, and then go into your 1. And then in the next rotation, your tier 3 is going to be ready to use. So when you have 2 seconds left on your 5th skill, you're going to hit your 2nd skill again. Wait till the flames show up. Hit the 5, the tier 3, cancel into the 4, shoot your ball of flame out, and then hit the 1. And the damage is insane. So I'll run through the rotation really quickly for you again. So it's just 2, flames show up, 5, 4, then 1. Wait till 2 seconds is left on the 5th skill. Then hit your 2, flames show up, 5, tier 3, 4, and then the 1. Very, very simple rotation. Very, very easy to use if you're playing with a Rage or a CTP of Judgment. Freaking insane character. And then I do have a Fully Awakened Overdrive set. And because he gets attack speed from his 4th skill, this is the set you really run with. Although there is an argument out there now, because we can get all these extra stats from our cards when we craft them. I mean, you can get extra critical damage from your card sets now. You can get extra attack speed from your card sets now. So in all honesty, depending on your craft combining, depending on the card sets that you have and the extra stats that you have, I mean, if you don't have any crafted cards, Overdrive is going to be the best set. Unless you don't have enough cooldown, then you'd want Hawk's Eye. But if you have crafted cards, it really wouldn't matter, honestly, between Power of Angry Hawk or Overdrive. And then we are running a CTP of Rage, and I actually would prefer to have a CTP of Judgment on him. I don't know which is actually stronger in ABX, if it's a CTP of Rage or a CTP of Judgment. I think the Rage might be stronger. I'm not really sure. But if you have a Mighty CTP, then that would be stronger against the Beast, but I'm not really sure. And then, of course, no uniform. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So if you have enough critical damage already from your cards and your build on Mephisto, you could actually run with Emma and actually get 5% extra all attack on your team up. And I am running on max settings, so I probably could have got a better score than what I'm going to get in this run. But I don't know, whenever you make videos, I just having those max stats. It just makes the animations look a lot more beautiful, much more clean. The weird thing about playing with Mephisto is, whenever we play with our characters, we generally run through all of their skills, especially in ABX. But when you're playing with Mephisto, you only want to use that 3rd skill at the very beginning, and that is it, my friends. You don't want to use it anymore. Now look what I'm doing. I'm waiting until 2 seconds comes on the 5th skill, then I hit the 2nd skill, then I go into the 5-4, and then I go into the 1. And you're just trying to get the end of the 2nd skill, the 5 and the 4 and the 1 all during the proc. And then when the tier 3 is off, you want the end of the 2nd skill, the 5, the tier 3, the 4, and the 1 all during that 5-second proc. So that way you can do a lot of damage. And since this is the burn season, Mephisto's just so easy to play against ABX. It's so easy to cancel this Beast Roar that's not even funny. I mean, he's doing insane, guys. He's almost at 4 million. He's just about to hit it, and boom, he hit it. Crazy, crazy power, my friends. And so easy to play. I am freaking loving this character so much. And he can put in some work in PvP, but for me, this is where he's going to be put to use. And if you are ABX competitive, this is really where you're going to want to use him. Because, again, he is the blast villain meta. He is crazy, crazy strong here. And a whole lot easier to play than Moonstone. Something about Moonstone that's pretty aggravating is after you do your Awakened skill, especially during the burn season, you get the burn from the end of the Awakened skill. And because of the cooldowns that she has, a lot of times the burn will start dropping down on the Beast, and your proc will trigger early. And that really sucks. It throws you off, especially when you're playing with a proc. And a lot of people like using just a regular energy for her, especially for World Boss. But when they're playing ABX, some people will use the Rage just because they don't like dealing with that obstacle. But with Mephisto, since he's pretty much optimal in all game modes, using a CTP of Judgment or Rage, although I think if you're going to have more Pierce, like I have 11% Pierce now, so I do think a Judgment would be better, especially for World Boss. In fact, I think that's pretty much absolute for World Boss. I'm not really sure about ABX. I really don't know, in all honesty, since Pierce doesn't apply to the Beast. But maybe that's something I could test in the future. Maybe I take a Judgment and try it against ABX and see how well I can do. But we're going to hit 8.3 million, which is a pretty respectful score. And again, if I had max stats, I could have got an extra 5% all attack from having EMF Frost on the team. Probably could have done a little bit better. So, insanely powerful character. Let me know in the comments if you guys think a regular CTP of Judgment is actually better than a CTP of Rage in ABX. I do think that a Mighty CTP of Judgment would be better than a Rage because you can actually get some all attack stats from it, but I'm not really sure because I haven't tested this. And I do stream on Twitch from Sunday through Thursday at Reset. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.